All right, guys, man, it's just something I just thought about today. I'm gonna make a whole video right now about how I started with Blind Squad Records. So I know I did a live. Let's say, actually, not that. I went on Triple T's panel back in April 2022. I think it was April 6th or April 7th of, I don't remember. It was right around those days. But it was on a Sunday. I think it was. Oh yeah, it was the 9th or the 10th. I think. And then like I went on his panel and I met Buckshot Biggs on his panel, and Buckshot Biggs said he was going live on his YouTube channel. So I looked up his name and I found him live, and I was like, oh hell yeah! So I hopped up on his panel for like 6 hours almost, about 4 hours the rest of the night, and I went. I saw him. He's talking about, I know this blind dude named Blind Squad TV, and he showed me his music. I'm like, oh hell yeah! Does he make his own beats, or I'm like, he was like, I don't know, man. You gotta get in touch with him. So he sent him my channel, um, that day or the next day or whenever I went live. I think I went. Yeah, it was that next weekend. That next weekend I went live. Blind Squad hopped up on my panel, and we talked for about 10 minutes, and his phone died, I guess, and he went to sleep. And the weekend afterwards, that's when we started our J Jack and D radio shows, and he popped up again, and then we talked for like 3 hours on that panel. I took that live down for some reasons, but that's how we met. And then that same night, we got in touch with each other on Instagram, and basically we exchanged phone numbers. I called him or he called me, and we talked for a long time. And as soon as we started talking, we started to get we started to he told me about Blind Scar Records. He was like, "Hey, I'm gonna sign you to Blind Scar Records," which I knew from the get go that was not a real record label. That was not. It's a real record label, but it's not. It's like it's a group of people will get together making music and stuff like that. I'm like, oh hell yeah, bro! As long as I get my rights and royalties from it, I'm good, bro. As long as I get everything. So I'm like, oh yeah, let's get it, dude. So he signed me to Blonde Scar Records. I've been signed to Blonde Scar Records for 2 years. I'm still independent, but still been signed to Blonde Squad for 2 years now. And yeah, we kicked it. We first started with God and Country with Big John. Shout out to Big John. And then we started. Then we made. Then I dropped the back. That's when I dropped the back with the Heat album in 2022. With Lil Diesel and all them. That was when I had Johnny O Records or J Jack O Records on my thing for a while. So I was kind of doing my own shit with the label and stuff. Had my own group of people, and basically it was me, Armor, Lil Diesel, the Clickbait Master, done the reactions, and YND Ty, Lil MJ, and all them. Y'all know how that went. So that's how that started. And then yeah, I met Blonde Squad, and we started making music together. So I dropped my Back with the Heat album, and then right after that Back with the Heat album dropped, me, Blind Squad TV, Hyperq, and all them, we started with the Life and Time album. So I started a song called Money Money, with Hyperq and him, Hyperq and Blind Squad TV. That's my first song with Hyperq, which is dope as hell. Go check it out. Which I'm gonna remaster a lot of these songs next year. I'll talk about that later, but yeah. And then we got the song with, what else did we did? So I met Hyperq's son on live. Well, not on live. I'm trying to remember back. We met him. I met him on. He called me. He called my phone. I was sitting there listening to music, and he called my phone and said, "Hey, how much do you charge for beats?" Back then, I didn't charge a dime for beats. I just sent beats to people for free. I didn't charge nothing for beats because I didn't know what to set up and what to do or not. But yeah, and he asked me, can I make him a beat? I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it. And I sent it to him. Which, if you want to know what that beat was, that's the country rap type trap beat that I sent him, which they never used, so I just put it on my YouTube channel for people to buy. And then yeah, we started talking. We started getting on Google Meets. D was going absolute crazy. You know how that man is. Blind Squad TV, doing crazy blind jokes. And so we did this song called "All We Talk About Is Money." I know y'all remember that song. Yeah, that song was pretty dope. It had me, Blind Squad TV, HyperQ, Joseph 39, and I had Shika Shane, Buckshot Biggs' nephew, and Buckshot Big just slipped in there and I didn't know about it. That was a dope song. Go check that out. It's on the Life and Time album. Right after that shit happened, we made a couple more songs. I made the Life and Time song with Big John and him, Blind Squad. And yeah, I feel like that's one of my dopest songs of that year. It might not have been mastered that well, but that's how this all started with Life and Time. That's basically how this all started, was with this Life and Time album. So yeah. And then I had a so-called friend hit me up right after I finished the Life and Time album, and he wanted to make amends. So I said, hey, what's up? I'll give him another chance. And Brooklyn was in the group call with me and him, and Brooklyn told me about how she got Truly Unique coming out. Like that was back when I never really associated with Brooklyn. When I started Blind Squad Records, I never really associated with Brooklyn at all. Another video will be made on that too. I never associated with Brooklyn that much. So she told me about Truly Unique is coming out. I'm like, you got it recorded? She was like, yeah, and it's coming out October 13th, 2022. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, bruh. So I told Blind Squad TV about it, and I'm like, bro, we gotta share this. We gotta share this person, and we gotta get her channel out there. She about to drop a song, dog. And shoot, so I promoted the hell out of her. If you look back on my old posts, community tab posts, I promoted the hell out of that woman. It was freaking great. And then I live streamed the song drop, the party, but I had to take that down for some specific reasons I'm not gonna speak on here, but yeah. That's how that started too. So basically, ever since then we signed Brooklyn, and now we are who we are, and we got some new people that signed. Backwoods Boy. Who else we got? Who else did we sign already? KK, my girl. We signed her already too. And then that's pretty much all. Cliff. Oh yeah, Cliff. I'll make a whole other video on that. So shout out to everybody that's part of the Blind Squad crew. Me, DeKendrick Graves, that guy Cliff, or Blind Productions, Backwoods Boy, Brooklyn Rollerson, Big John HyperQ, some other dudes that I ain't never met yet. So here we go.